Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mr. Hardcore Mode, where nothing's easy, and we're going right back into Game of Thrones. I appreciate all the views and likes, and let's get right onto it.
Good night, milady.
There's a reason why you say little with that guy. There's a lot of spies in King's Landing. You gotta know this.
Lady Marjorie,
You must know.
you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
That is her. That is indeed the lady that speaks for, that plays as
From the
Marjorie.
day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor.
She paints everybody a traitor.
She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
How did you respond?
I told her you are one of my most trusted handmaidens, that you can hardly be blamed for the actions of your father and brother. Nonetheless, she demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Yep. That's exactly how Cersei plays.
See
You gotta
if the
be
Queen
careful.
Regent is ready to receive us.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. Stop looking at me. Jeez.
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Yep. Yep, she knows. I know. I'm glad I know.
Good luck.
They're all spies. All of them. Even that boy back there that we saw. Ah, don't kill me. No, I'm just kidding. That's a standard reaction. By the way, anybody
You can do this.
who is not a Lannister is a traitor. So, you gotta know that with Cersei. And that's the same thing with Tyrion too. Oh my gosh! Is that who I think it is? Is that Dinklebot?
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Oh my gosh!
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace?
I meant Tywin, not Tyrion.
With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Your Grace.
Gotta be courteous.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
She scares me.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is. The girl can speak for her house.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
Everybody's a traitor to you.
Yes, Your Grace. They are traitors.
The Starks were your liege lord, yet you name them traitors so easily. I take it this is the kind of loyalty the king can expect from you, if you have any loyalty at all. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Roose Bolton also served the Starks, Your Grace.
And proved his loyalty to the crown by bringing their house to a swift and sudden end.
Wow. Jeez.
Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
I won't dishonor myself, Your Grace.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
That is true.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the wall? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
I'm sure she regrets it.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
I probably should have said
Loyalty
nothing.
can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
Ah.
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Yep.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging.
Ah, fucking A.
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
If you mean one thing, say another when you want to say another thing when you mean another when you say...
I'll walk you out.
Oh, God. Oh!
This
Better
may come
company.
as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Marjorie.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters.
Oh, thank God.
The crown needs boats, boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard, not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
Thank you for the advice, Lord Tyrion.
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Very true. Jeez. Side up with Cersei, and then I did, because Marjorie told me to. And then I did it too much. And then Cersei's like, I know what you're doing. And I'm like,
Mira, I was
fuck.
worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
I'd rather not discuss it, if you don't mind.
Of course not. It must have been horrible. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back. Here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons.
9th? Jeez.
Sir Jaime, I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour. Which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
He is quite handsome.
And quite passionate. From what I've heard. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like.
It's hell. Sometimes. In
Would you
King's
marry
Landing.
Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him. And he's always treated Lady Marjorie well. Which
Say-
is more than you can say for his
This
mother.
time, say nothing.
Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden.
No more handmaiden work. I think she's tired of it.
Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match!
Man, you're mean.
Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well? Sarah?
We're sorry, my lady. We were just having fun.
Can we have any bit of fun
This
here?
is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira.
I'm sorry, Marjorie. I'm sorry
I'm
if I
just glad
showed you.
it's over.
Yeah, me too. Don't hate me.
King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over.
Very true.
I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly.
Well, it's very true, and that's what she does in the book. Anyway, I'll see you guys then.